Hello, I'm Guy, and this is Guy Robot.
Hello and welcome to the latest in my blockchain Bonanza videos. If you haven't watched the whole series so far and are wondering what this is about, I'm doing a short video every single day about crypto or blockchain this month because I haven't done any videos in the last month, so I thought I'd make up for it. I've been away working on a new startup that I've just launched, which is called the Smart Investment Fund Token. You can check it over at smartift.com, link in the description below. And because I've been so busy with that, I thought it'd be fun to share some of the information I know about crypto with everyone, so hopefully you'll find this interesting. Today we're carrying on with the different types of mining that you can do in various cryptocurrencies, and one of my favourite today, proof of capacity, something that most people probably haven't heard of in the crypto world. And whilst the last two I covered, proof of work and proof of stake, were really well known, proof of capacity on the other hand isn't that well known. In fact, proof of capacity is only really done by one coin at the moment, Burst coin. And the idea is that rather than do the work in real time, you do a whole bunch of work up front that takes a very long time. And then once you've done that work up front, you store it on a hard disk somewhere. Then when it comes around to mining, you just look at bits of your hard disk and you prove that you did the work in the past by virtue of it stored. The idea is that the algorithm is too complex to run in real time, and that each of the blocks have a short enough time that you wouldn't be able to churn through all the possible permutations for it. So in the case of Burst Coin's implementation of it, you do for each few thousand bytes on your hard disk, you do thousands and thousands of hashes to get to a final number that you store. The idea when you actually then come and do the mining is the network decides one random number to look for, and then every few thousand bits of data on your hard disk, you just look in that one place, go, does this match, and whichever is the lowest number that you get, that's the number of seconds that you would win, and whoever has the lowest number overall wins that round of mining. So you couldn't do it in real time at the moment on the basis that the algorithms are too heavy computationally for GPUs or CPUs. For example, if I was to fill up one of my 4 terabyte disks, it would take me roughly 2 days to fill it up. So in real time it would take me 2 days, whereas actually from that I might get no data from it. So at the moment you have this one heavy upfront amount of work, and then after that very little to do. So the benefit to it is it's really low energy. For an active mining protocol rather than something like proof of stake, you've got a couple of days of heavy energy up front and then not a huge amount when you're actually validating the data. There is some computational power to validate it as you're going, but that amount of power is significantly lower than it is on proof of work coins, and you could certainly devise a proof of capacity system that was even lower energy and did very little when it came to confirming it. In simple terms, the easiest way to think of it is it's like you filled your hard disk with a bunch of lottery tickets. The lottery numbers are drawn, and then you have to go through all of your tickets as quickly as possible, and whoever finds that they've got the ticket with the most numbers as quickly as possible wins. But your tickets are valid week after week after week, and you have a better chance of winning the more tickets you've got, and you get more tickets by buying more hard drives. Now it's very realistic and easy to begin mining with tens of terabytes of disk space, which, considering you can now get a terabyte for $22, that means it's a very low barrier to entry compared to other technologies. And actually Burst coin in particular for a long time was just in the gigabytes, hundreds of gigabytes range to make some kind of effective return from it. Now the flip side is that means it's a network that's very susceptible to botnets. People tend to notice if their graphics cards or CPUs are ramped at 100% and they can't use their computer. If they lose 50 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes of disk space, do they know? And that's a problem for proof of capacity. One potential fix for it would be to have a minimum size that you'd need to have on a disk in order to prove your capacity, which means you'd have to fill someone's disk. They're more likely to notice it then. But that does then lose the benefit of very small miners or being able to do it with your smartphone. However, in the long term, if there was a network the size of Bitcoin using it, I suspect what we would see would be petabyte or zettabyte levels of storage, where people have spent hundreds of millions of pounds on storage solutions. And then you're kind of in a similar place to you are with Bitcoin, in that it's a bit of a waste of money really, because you've spent billions on hard disks that sat there doing pointless. They're sat there storing data that's pointless, but is there a way to store useful data? And there's a few ICOs that are looking at doing this now, where actually the concept is you store data and you get rewarded for it. So I think at some future point, the idea that you use your hard disk for good and earn from it will be an interesting way that it goes, because it's low energy. At the moment, Burst Coin's one of the only ones that really does it, and that's got a whole bunch of problems. However, it is one of my favourite coins. I'll be covering that in a future video. Hopefully that explains what proof of capacity is. Don't forget to check out my startup at smartift.com if you're interested in what I've been doing. Link is down below, that's smartift.com, and you can check me out on Twitter at GuyRobotTV and my blog at guyrobot.tv. Thanks.